And remember, when you have compassion for others or pick up things on others, sometimes it can also be that your soul, spirit, or higher self is teaching you through others' lessons. And sometimes if you can figure out what is going on with someone and say, oh, this is what they're working on love, this is their way of getting more love, then you can let it go. You don't want to carry things with you. Again, if you do, you want to clean your field off. Sometimes people have used the old technique of lighting sage and cleaning your field every day, or getting yourself a good solid piece of hematite or something to be grounded in and keep the forces off. There's many ways to do it, but the will and the feelings come first. And if they are strong, the reality follows. All right? Questions? Patricia?
Say, you've already mentioned about that humans are made by design.
We talked earlier about humans being by design, yes.
Yeah. And, Over talked about the moon being, an artificial construct. And so, figuring maybe then the Earth would be artificial as well. If you make this experiment and make these great humans biological experiment, makes me wonder then if it wouldn't be by accident to put us here specifically. And then if that is true or somewhat accurate, then the question I have is the aspect of humans by our emotions being able to affect other parts of the system, the weather and the geophysical forces.
Yes.
Was that part an accident, or was that planned in the experiment in the first place? Or was that unforeseen?
The emotional part, was it
planned? Was it expected that we would have this ability as the human's emotion to be able to influence weather and geophysical and really influence nature? Was that unexpected or expected to happen?
Let's say from the way you are asking the question, it is an innate part of the understanding of this dynamic of how the multiverse and Earth operate. So, as we said earlier, many so-called creator gods even can lose sight of this. They too can become obsessed on coming to your Earth and mining, coming for minerals, coming for gold, coming for sex, coming for different things. Yet the innate experiment is that, let's say, Earth is a created dynamic, as all planets would be in some regard. Your scientifics say it's all arising from a big bang, and they claim that that's what they want to create in CERN is a big bang. They're going to get banged, and banged, let us say. They won't be using that word bang too much longer. You start describing reality as being that, and guess what? CERN goes bang. No. There is the dynamic of the spontaneity of energy, let's say, wanting to be activated into something. So one could say the Earth was dreamt into being. The solar system was dreamt into being. You are in a bit of a tug of war or an either-or situation, because theoretically, and sometimes very emotionally, you recognize that you are multidimensional. You recognize that the multiverse is energetic. Yet, every place in reality, it keeps affirming to you that it is a solid, dense, random world. So this then colors the way you all look at things. So let's say, Patricia, the whole dynamic is an experiment in energy that is designed to attract soul spirits, to give them some place to play, to create dramas, long soap operas of karmic nature and playing with energy, and to have all of this affect the larger whole. You are unique, you are special, but look out there in the multiverse and see how big it is. Yet everything out there is as intimately connected to you as your childhood memories and your timelines are. So in this regard, it is difficult to analyze something when you are in it. In other words, if you are in the play, it's hard to write a review on it, yes? Yes. And you are participating. And we've taught you a bit of how to be quiet and to observe and to think of it. So, multidimensionality and the emotionality, let's say the emotionality is the hidden key to being human. Because if you had no emotions, you couldn't reproduce. You think your animals have no emotions. They all do. Reproduction is based on an emotional experience. Yet the emotions have been so renegated off to the side and marginalized. As we said earlier, not everyone has the same set of marbles upstairs because they haven't done the work. Bloodlines are all different. Some bloodlines have intelligence, and some have slowness, some have industriousness. You're all so different. But you do all feel and have emotions, even if they are suppressed. You cannot function without your emotionality in this reality. It would be a flat world. It wouldn't have sustained itself. So it's not a surprise on the emotionality. And many are waiting for you to emotionally crack, by frustration, crack this belief system that traps you and that will let other energy in. And when you exude that much momentum and frustration to outgrow your ideas as a planet, and no newspaper has to take any consensus on this. And you are rapidly approaching that time. This is what's happening this summer. It is the frustration of the people wanting freedom to know, to claim their psychic abilities, against a system that wants to control them and nanny them and dumb them down and tax them and dissociate them. And let's say when it comes to who's going to win, who do you think is going to win? People, of course. Who's there more of? People. Who has more emotion?
People.
Of course.
We are the people.
Yes. And they are the people too. They are the people too in some forms. And they will be, many of these beings will be transformed at the power. You will start to feel the raw power of people's emotions. And again, as we said earlier, that flowering of consciousness for some will come out in anger. Because Aries is the angry little kid. Aries is the one that starts fires. Aries is the one that starts things and doesn't think things through. Aries jumps first and thinks later. Aries is also the leader, the warrior. Aries is spirit in the body saying, I am here. I am grateful to be alive. Let's go for it. And it is from our point of view, however it is expressed, it will be the flowering of consciousness. And as you watch these flowerings occur, just recognize that this is a movement of energy. Maybe you wouldn't move it in that way, or do you approve of it in that way? But you will see this uniqueness all over the globe of people expressing spirit awakening in their body. And so your job is to understand that it's not just about the freedom to have an abortion or not, or the freedom to vote this or to do this with immigrants, with taxes. This is the underlying, what's the symbol for it. And if you stay with the symbol, you give the symbol more power to express itself rather than to get fragmented off, as the global elite will do. They will fragment it off into opposing forces. But the energy is so powerful, no one can control this. They can play it, of course, but not control it. And again, as we emphasized, you will. Will be as if switches go off on you,